All right. Hello, hello, everybody. We are live in Facebook world. I'm here with the amazing Alan Ning, and I'm super excited to bring him along today to share his story. This man has created some amazing results, and I'll get into it here. So I'm just checking in, just make sure that the stream is live. So it looks like we're online. And then if you guys are out there and tuning in, I would recommend that you guys share it on your streams because it's going to be super valuable. And I promise you guys that Alan is going to drop some nuggets. Me and him were talking about a couple things before the actual live webinar. Not a live webinar. I'm kind of getting mixed up. Like, this is not a live webinar, but an interview, right? A live interview, and basically. Our intention and what I really love about what Alan was talking about, he really is in a place in his career where he's been able to build himself up in a very significant way, obviously, with what he's been able to do with his production. And now he's looking at really creating opportunities for other people, building a team, bringing other people alongside. So I just, Alan, thank you so much for taking the time today. I truly appreciate you being on. For those of you that are listening in, a little bit of background. I know that Alan's going to share his story, but just a little bit of background. He's been in the real estate business for 7 years, over 300 sales, 200 million in production, and then last year, 2021, right during the pandemic, 41 million in production. So, which is outstanding, man. So, round of applause to you, brother. Round of applause.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
on
Thank
everything
you.
you're doing. And I think that the first question I really want to lead with is just I want people out there to really connect with who you are, right? Like, everybody sees you out there making it happen and crushing it with production, but I want them to get connected to you and your story, man. So tell them a little bit about yourself. Take us back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Leo. Yeah, I really appreciate the opportunity too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so a little bit about me. I actually graduated from Cal Poly Pomona, with a hospitality degree, which is like hotel restaurant management. So basically, I didn't start my business in the real estate. When I first started, basically, I working from restaurant to restaurant, learning everything about restaurant because that's my major. So I end up actually opening up like multiple restaurants. So that's how I start. But while
Hmm.
I was having restaurant, I actually started like having some free time because like after a while, the restaurant kind of a little bit run on its own. Of course, I still need to be there, and I got the time to actually take my real estate license. So that's how I started like part time the first year, and amazingly, it's like doing that time or doing part time, I got my first listing and it's like over $1 million listing. And then I got my first paycheck, and that's like
Wow.
$40,000 paycheck on my very first transaction.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like asking myself, what am I doing here? I mean, the restaurant
Yeah.
was making money. It's not like it's bad, but like compared to what the possibility might be compared to what I was doing, then okay, maybe this is a sign that eventually, if I sell the restaurant, I'm gonna do it full time. And what happened
So
is,
wow. So
yeah,
at this point, right? So you got your first transaction, $1 million closing. You make a big check of over $30,000. You're still running and managing the restaurant, and then you're like, "Whoa!" Like, what? This is a big vehicle, right? Where you can really accomplish a lot. So you
yeah,
got spoiled from the beginning, man. The congrats, like, you started off with a big paycheck, right away. So that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. I look at it as a sign. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe like when time's right, I should do this full time. And then, believe it or not, in like a year or two, I have people approaching me buying my restaurant. So that's when I actually sold out my restaurant, and I got nothing else to do, but I have my license. So that's how I actually start my real estate career. And I mean, like, not all stories like, oh, wow, so nice, so easy. But my first year, I only did 5 transactions. So that's all
Okay.
I did. I was making like okay living. I mean, it's enough, but almost like a paycheck by paycheck still. But
Right.
the second year is that when I actually started this like full time. Then that's when my business started taking off, like selling at 20 years on the first year full time. From there on, it's pretty much like 20, 40, and then I'm averaging around 50, 60 houses a year. So that's kind
Wow.
of how I started. Yeah.
Wow. 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 So then you started up, and then you're averaging 50, 60 sales. And then also, mind you, for those of that are listening out there, this is his production, right? It's not a team's production. This is him as an individual, right? So 50 to 60 transactions. And man, congratulations, man. Congratulations on an amazing career so far, right? Because I really feel like this is only the beginning for you, right? Like this is truly only the beginning. So as you're progressing, right, and as you're doing your business, I mean, I would like to talk about just a couple of the key things that you did to really help you to get to where you are, right? Like, what are some key
Mhm.
elements that you said, you know what, this made a big difference. This made a big difference. Like, what are those things for you? What really worked?
Okay, so first of all, I think me being in the restaurant business before, so I already have the hustle in me. Like, a restaurant, there's no like lacking. Like you just have to work, and get your hand dirty. So I'm used to that
Mm,
part of it, and it's kind of translate really well into like the real estate industry because, like, you just have to treat it like a real job. Like I think a lot of agents, all the new agents, oh wow, I got my $40,000 paycheck. Why do I have to work the next 2 3 weeks or 3 months? But like
right.
like you just have to treat it like an actual job. Like it's kind of funny to say that, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, but you kind of have to treat it like a 9 to 5. You kind of have to
Yep.
like work like that. I think that's the first step. I think that really helped me. But that mindset, I think, that carried me a long way because, like, okay, I got my first paycheck. Okay, I got my first 20 deals, but my mentality wasn't, okay, wow, I'm successful. Like, I got the money, I can go travel everywhere, just have fun, and then come back to work. But I just keep
Yep.
that mentality going. Just keep working, and that's
Hmm.
I would say the very first thing. But and another thing, I think, the more like I look at it, the real estate industry is very similar to what I used to do, like a hospitality industry. It's service oriented, so that's kind of
Hmm.
how I started my business. I give really good service to my client,
Mm,
and I
yes.
always say it's not like giving what they want; it's do it exceeding the expectation. That's when you're actually
Mm,
giving a good service. So that
love.
that's the second thing. Yeah, yeah.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Perfect. So then your what really led to, your success right now is the structure that you had, obviously, because you're a business person. You understand that you got to treat it like a real business every single day. You come from a service mindset and go above and beyond, right? Over deliver on their expectations. And yeah, there really is there. I'm not surprised that you've been able to do what you're doing because again, you're treating it like a business. You're intentional, and at the same time then you're coming from a place of service, which is, I think that that's one of the things that a lot of people miss, right? They get excited about these big paychecks, and then they end up seeing their not their clients needs, but they end up seeing like the big monetary gain. And if your mindset is there, then you're not going to be like connecting with the person and really understanding what they're about. So congrats on having that
Yeah.
mindset, and no surprise that you've been able to do what you've been able to do. So that leads me to my next question. Like, right now, so service, consistency, having a structure. What's next for you? Like, where do you want to go from here? What's
Uh,
next for you, like coming up?
yeah. Quite honestly, like I've been doing like this kind of production for the past like 5 years or so. So like
Mhm.
to a point, like I enjoy like helping client, but at the same time, like I kind of want to grow my team and like
Mhm.
teach other agents what I did, how I get to this level. I mean, I still have a long way. I mean, there's a lot of people like way above me. I'm still learning, but at least
Yeah.
not as a lot of agents trying to get to my level. And that's why I want to like share more. That's when I actually honestly like joined the you guys EXP. I met Leo,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like after I understand the structure, it's like life changing. Like give me the opportunity to actually grow my business at the same time grow my team and help other agents. It's just like something that I was actually didn't think about when I was doing like the business. Oh wow, I'm making a good living, and but what's next? I mean, I don't want to do 100 transactions. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I probably can do that, but like that's not my goal. And my goal is actually I want to help others to succeed. At the same time, we all grow together. So that's kind of like
Yes.
the new mentality that I have. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And that is, I mean, you're right on track, man, because that is the natural progression, right? As an agent, right? You get to the point where you do enough transactions, you keep doing it, you're consistent. So the next level of growth is it's really to create other leaders around you, right? So
Yeah.
that's exactly what your, the next approach is. So for anybody that's out there that's thinking about, how do you get on a roadmap? How do you get on a platform? How do you get around people that are doing the same thing? So Alan is an excellent example. So if you're out there, you want to get connected with him. He's an open book. He's fully transparent. He's a partner with us here at eXp Real Estate. So he's looking at building a team. So if you're out there and looking at, getting in connection with him, obviously you can connect with them here on Facebook, on Instagram. I'll make sure to drop all his information in here. Yeah, man. I mean, thank you for being part of our company. One of the other things that I was going to say, because we were kind of talking about this, right? Like, a lot of people, I think, out there would want to have a blueprint, like a $41 million blueprint, right? And so what Alan and I were talking about is actually doing an event in March. So stay tuned, save the date. We're gonna be promoting it here in the next week. But Alan is actually going to be sharing all of his best practices, his roadmap to 41 million. So stay tuned for that event. It's going to be super powerful. Any last things that you want to leave people with, man? Anything you want to share that you think people should know about you, the business, anything else?
And then honestly, other than the 40 million a year that you make, but how you're going to use that money to actually build wealth. And that's another thing I work on a lot. It's just not just making a commission. I mean, money in, money out. I see a lot of agents. Oh, wow, they make a lot of money. And then the next thing you see, they just spend it on something and it's gone. And then the next thing you know, you're actually still working paycheck by paycheck when you're making 41 million in sales. So that's another thing that I'm actually doing. Like, I do investment, I do flip, and I also do short-term rental that actually could help me create the long-term wealth that, I don't always have to work until I'm 60, 70. My goal is to retire in 5 to 10 years, which I do have a game plan for that. And I don't mind sharing. And that's, I mean, what this is all about. I mean, sharing, that's what I teach my kid. You just have to do what you teach your kid. Sharing is caring. So to me, I don't mind sharing at any time. You join my team or not, you got a question, I always answer. Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that, man. Thank you so much for sharing all these valuable nuggets and one book or one seminar or one thing that you think everybody should be listening to or read or anything like that. Anything you could recommend?
Actually, the one by Dale Carnegie, How to Influence. I forgot the exact name, but like, I just love that book. And
I love it.
But it's like so powerful. Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorites, bro. That is one of my favorite books. Yeah, How to Win and Influence Friends. Yeah, with Dale Carnegie. If you guys are out there, that's a great book. Thank you for dropping that nugget. So for everybody that's out there, again, listening to this interview, if you guys have additional questions, we just wanted to make a short little interview here. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. I'll include Alan's information. Alan, thank you so much for taking the time, man. And I'm looking forward, man, to that event in March. 41 million, the roadmap. Let's go.
I can't wait.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Thanks, brother. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, brother. All right. Have a good one, guys.
All right. You too.